Hello, welcome to Covering Sports with Prince, and I want to do a recap on the great main event that we all just witnessed: the Benevidez and Anthony Yarde fight. Brian Norman, Devin Haney, Abdullah Mason, Sam Noakes, Jesse Rodriguez, Martinez, and Vito and Samuel. And now I just want to give a rough breakdown, not even a breakdown, but a recap on what we just witnessed. Me or Nikki won in the ninth round by knockout. I predicted a fourth round knockout, which nearly came to fruition. It seems like Vito had an injury where he couldn't or wasn't enabled to throw his right hand properly, but he ended up finding something. He displayed great footwork in that match. Obviously, his jab is always a strong jab. And on the other hand, Samuel, after the fourth round, he kind of picked up a little bit. Fifth and sixth, he was a bit more sturdy. He recovered well, utilized his jab, but at the end, like I predicted, Vito was just going to be too powerful for him. And moving on to Jesse Rodriguez v Martinez, like I predicted, Jesse was going to win by knockout, although I had him winning in the fourth or fifth round, but Martinez showed great heart. I knew he didn't have the skills to take on Jesse Rodriguez. Jesse Rodriguez is just on another level. He's just complete class. He won from round 1 through to round 9 before knocking him out in round 10. And the Abdullah Mason and Sam Noakes fight, that fight was an electrifying fight. It doesn't seem like he cares about the game plan. He made that fight harder than what it should have been, not taking nothing away from Sam Noakes. But Abdullah Mason could have really just controlled that fight with his jab the whole night and win. But he wanted to entertain the fans like he always does. The same thing he did against Johan Vasquez. Majority of these fighters that he fights, he's able to outbox them if he really wants to. But it seems like he loves the scrap. He loves to put on the show. Only 21, he showed great grit. He showed abundance of heart. He showed everything, He stood on the inside, he fought in the pocket with Sam Noakes, and he beat Sam Noakes in his own game. I had to knocking him out in the ninth round, I believe, but it went the distance. I didn't expect him to come out and fight like that throughout the whole fight, but credit to Abdullah Mason. I'm moving on to the Devin Haney and the Brian Norman fight. I knew that he was going to get a knockdown or two. Being a ring general that he is, I knew he was going to dominate the ring also. After he got knocked down in the second round, it's like Brian Norman, everything went out the window. They always say you have a plan until you get punched in the face, and that's exactly how it was. In the first round, he started off good. I think I would have advised him to continue to progress like that throughout the fight. But Devin Haney, man, done great. Not surprised that he won. I had him winning by decision and getting a knockdown or two. And now he's become champion in 3 weight divisions. Wonderful achievement, and congratulations to Devin Haney. Moving on to the main event, Benevidez v Anthony Yarde. Like I predicted a 9th round knockout, but if I'm honest, I was being nice. To predict the exact round could be difficult, but I had between the 7th and the 9th round him getting knocked out. Like I stated in my first prediction, Anthony Yarde is good between the 1st round and the 5th round, more so the 1st round and the 4th round, and after that, you just start to see it waning on him. And exactly like I predicted, the high pressure rising fighter in Benevidez, the Mexican monster, it was just too much of a force for him, dominating him from round 1 to round 7 before he knocked him out in the 7th round. It was a great display, and after what he done to Yarde, we can see why everyone ducks the Mexican monster in Benevidez. He is the best at what he does, pressurizing fighter, and he's always going to give the fans what they want. Overall, it was an amazing event, and I think it's one of the best events ever put on in boxing. And for me, as a boxing fan, I'm delighted, excited for the next lineup, and it's going to be hard to top. It's going to be hard to top this one. Devin Haney, champion in the 3rd weight division. Benevidez defending his WBC champion. He's going to move up to cruiserweight to fight Ramirez for the championship. I hope that falls through. Abdullah Mason became the youngest ever champion at only age 21, winning himself the WBO lightweight championship. Jesse Rodriguez retaining the ring title retaining the WBO title, retaining the WBC title, and capturing Fernando Martinez's WBA title. And I hope that he can now fight for the IBF and unify that division. My favourite fight, to be honest, that Sam Knox and Abdullah Mason, that back and forth, it was just great to watch, man. But to be honest, I was a fan of all the fights, but that one more so took me by surprise, to how electrifying it was, and that really set the pillar for the rest of the fights after that. Once again, thank you for tuning in to Covering Sports with Prince.